get ready. Because what's coming on April 18th, 2025 is unlike anything we've witnessed in over 200 years. Most people have no idea it's even on the horizon. But for those who are paying attention, for those who are sensitive to subtle shifts, intuitive ripples, and the undercurrents of energy, this moment is already beginning to whisper through the veil. This isn't just another planetary transit, not just a charming alignment we mark on an astrology chart and then forget. This is something much deeper, much rarer, much more significant. On this powerful day, Mercury and Neptune will align at 0 degrees Aries, what astrologers recognize as the cosmic reset point. This degree isn't just the first tick on the zodiac wheel. It's a symbolic heartbeat of creation itself. It holds within it the pure essence of potential, unfiltered, untamed, and completely uninfluenced by what has come before. It's the womb of all beginnings, the spark that lights the fire of life. And when something aligns here, especially planets as profound as Mercury and Neptune, it doesn't just move the heavens, it moves consciousness. And right now the universe is opening a portal, an energetic threshold through which higher frequencies are already pouring. This influx doesn't knock at the door, it rushes in like a current, dissolving boundaries and reshaping the landscape of thought, perception, and spiritual awareness. It's not just rare, it's alchemical, transformative. If you've been feeling like you're floating between realities, having sudden flashes of insight, or experiencing dreams that seem more vivid, layered, or emotionally charged than usual, know this: you're not imagining it. You're tuning in. You're already starting to feel what's coming through. This kind of alignment, where Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, and mental clarity, merges with Neptune, the planet of intuition, dreams, and transcendence, creates an energetic bridge between the seen and unseen. But at 0 degrees Aries, that bridge doesn't just connect two worlds, it begins a whole new one. This is the universe's way of saying, start again, but start wiser. Start with vision, start with soul. So why does this matter so deeply now? Why is this particular April 18th so uniquely important? Because we are living through one of the most profound transitional periods humanity has ever experienced. The old structures are crumbling, systems are breaking down. What once felt certain no longer makes sense. And simultaneously, something new, something truer, more heart-centered, more aligned with universal wisdom is trying to emerge. The world is changing faster than our minds can rationally comprehend. Artificial intelligence is expanding. Collective consciousness is rising. Our definitions of time, identity, purpose, they're all being rewritten. And right in the middle of this metamorphosis, Mercury and Neptune are returning to the exact energetic origin point of the zodiac wheel, the cosmic alpha, the place of all beginnings. The last time this happened was in the 1800s. In a world so radically different, it might as well have been another lifetime. That was a time before electricity, before digital communication, before satellites, or smartphones, or neural networks. The Earth was quieter. But even then, this alignment seeded something that would unfold over centuries. Now, as we stand at the brink of a new chapter in human evolution, the same alignment is returning, but the stakes are even higher, and the possibilities even greater. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing, a cosmic nudge, a reminder that endings are not the final story. They are the threshold to something entirely new. When Mercury and Neptune come together in this way, it creates a sort of psychic and energetic fusion. Logic meets mysticism. Words meet silence. Thought meets knowing. It's like our mental software gets upgraded, not just with new data, but with new awareness, new intuition, new codes from the universe itself. And because this is all happening at 0 degrees Aries, that upgrade doesn't just influence one aspect of life, it resets the entire operating system. What does that mean for you? It means you might be noticing that your thoughts are shifting. You may be feeling more open to what you once dismissed. Synchronicities, symbols, the messages in music, in dreams, in silence. The veil between your conscious mind and your higher self is thinning. allowing wisdom to rise up from within you like water from a deep well. These are not thoughts formed through analysis. They are knowings that arrive fully formed. Epiphanies that can't be explained. Feelings that hold more truth than facts. For some, this will manifest as a wave of creativity. New ideas, new stories, new perspectives will flow through like lightning. For others, it may be a subtle but persistent shift in worldview. A quiet inner knowing that the old paradigm just doesn't fit anymore. They are knowings that arrive fully formed. Epiphanies that can't be explained. Feelings that hold more truth than facts. For some, this will manifest as a wave of creativity. New ideas, new stories, new perspectives will flow through like lightning. For others, it may be a subtle but persistent shift in worldview. A quiet inner knowing that the old paradigm just doesn't fit anymore. You may suddenly realize that a job, a relationship, a routine no longer aligns with who you're becoming. You may find yourself pulled toward spiritual practices, intuitive studies, or soul-deep contemplation. But let's also be honest, not everyone will experience this energy in the same way. While some will receive clear downloads, guidance, or bursts of vision, others might feel mentally foggy or emotionally overwhelmed. This alignment can stir the subconscious, releasing dreams, fears, memories, and longings that have been buried. The waters of Neptune are deep and sometimes murky. Mercury entering this realm is like dropping a flashlight into an ocean. Some days it'll illuminate treasure, other days it might stir sediment. That's why awareness is so essential. When you understand what's happening, you can meet it with clarity rather than confusion. This is why April 18th is not just a date, it's a doorway, a sacred space, a spiritual activation, and it's already begun. The energy of a moment like this doesn't just strike on one day, it builds. It seeps in like dawn, and you may already be noticing its effects. Maybe you felt more connected to your inner voice lately. Maybe you've been daydreaming more. Maybe you've been having intense dreams. Dreams that linger like smoke even hours after waking. Dreams that feel like messages, like memories from other lifetimes, like pieces of a puzzle you didn't know you were missing. This is Neptune at work. This is the dream world merging with waking life. And Mercury, our mental translator, is right there, listening, decoding, channeling. You might find yourself remembering things you didn't consciously experience. You might sense the presence of guides or ancestors. You might begin to hear the quiet voice of your soul more clearly than the noise of the outside world. This isn't fantasy, it's frequency. You're tuning into a new station, one that's always been broadcasting, but that now you finally have the bandwidth to receive. Think of your mind as an antenna, and this alignment has a cosmic recalibration. You're being adjusted, finely, delicately, to resonate at a higher vibration. And as this happens, your perspective begins to widen. You start to see patterns instead of problems, opportunities instead of endings, lessons instead of losses. You begin to trust your inner compass, even when the map isn't clear. This is how a spiritual reset feels. It's not always thunder and lightning. Often it's quiet, gentle, a subtle inner shift, a softness in the heart, a sudden tear without explanation, a longing you can't name, a memory that never happened, a dream that feels more real than the day you're living. It's not just your mind that's shifting, it's your entire energy field. You're not just receiving information, you're receiving light, codes, activations, a recalibration of who you are and who you are becoming. And the more you allow yourself to surrender to the mystery of it, the more clearly you will see. So if you've been feeling like you're on the edge of something big, if there's a quiet knowing inside you that life is about to change, you're right. The reset is real. The portal is open. And this moment is here to awaken something ancient and eternal within you. This alignment at 0 degrees Aries is not only a personal beginning, it's a collective one. It invites us to shift how we communicate, how we connect, how we dream together. It offers a new way forward, not based on fear, logic, or division, but on unity, imagination, and deep soul truth. It is the start of a new cycle of consciousness, and each of us plays a part in shaping what comes next. So what do you do with this energy? You listen, you dream, you trust, you write down the messages that come to you in the early hours of morning, you pay attention to the ideas that arrive like whispers, you meditate, you rest, you open, you allow. This moment is not one to force or figure out. It's one to feel. Let the energy move through you. Let it inspire you, unsettle you, awaken you. Let it remind you that you are not just a body or a name. You are a soul in motion, part of a much larger unfolding story. And this chapter is just beginning. April 18th is not just a reset of thought. It's a rebirth of spirit. And if you allow it, it will show you not just who you are, but who you are becoming. If you've been feeling differently, if your inner world seems more alive, your senses more sensitive, your thoughts more vivid and laced with meaning, it's not just in your head. I see it's not a passing phase or some random emotional wave. You are in tune with a sacred undercurrent, something deep and ancient and beautiful that is just beginning to reveal itself. You're not alone in this. A subtle but powerful frequency is rising within and around us, and many are beginning to notice. It's like something invisible is calling out to you, not with words, but with sensations, with dreams, with flashes of knowing that bypass logic and reach straight into your soul. There is a portal opening, and you're being asked to step through, not by force, but by invitation. Not with fear, but with curiosity. What lies on the other side isn't something the logical mind can fully define. This isn't a place you can map or plan your way into. It's a dimension of consciousness, a deeper space within your own being, one that your soul already knows intimately. It's familiar, yet uncharted, and it calls not to the thinker in you, but to the rememberer, the part of you that has always known you were more than what the world taught you to be. This moment is not random. April 18th marks more than just another day on the calendar. It's a spiritual threshold, a cosmic beginning that mirrors something profound, unfolding within your own spirit. The universe, in its quiet but unmistakable way, is aligning forces to help you see more clearly, feel more deeply, and remember more fully who and what you really are. You're not just waking up to some new idea. You're waking up to an ancient truth that's been lying dormant in your cells, waiting for the perfect time to rise. Right now, a rare and potent energetic alignment is unfolding in the sky. Mercury, the messenger, the thinker, the translator of cosmic data, is meeting Neptune, the dreamer, the mystic, the keeper of spiritual truths. And they're doing so at 0 degrees Aries, a point of pure ignition, the first spark, the origin of all beginnings. This is the cosmic equivalent of lighting a match in total darkness, not to burn something down, but to reveal what's always been there. And when these two planets unite at such a powerful degree, something extraordinary happens. The veils grow thin. The barriers between the seen and unseen dissolve. The rational mind and the intuitive heart begin to speak the same language. This is a time to stay soft, stay open, and above all, stay connected to your own inner voice. The quiet one, the one that doesn't yell, the one that doesn't beg for attention. That whisper within you, that's where the truth lives now. And it's getting louder. Not loud in volume, but in resonance. It's becoming impossible to ignore. When Mercury and Neptune align like this, especially at the Aries point, the usual boundaries between logic and imagination begin to blur, and that's a beautiful thing. Because what you're stepping into now isn't confusion. It's revelation. The rational part of you, the part that likes neat categories and clearly labeled answers, may feel overwhelmed. But deeper than that, something else is happening. Something ancient. Something sacred. You are receiving messages, not just from your own higher self, but from your guides, your ancestors, from the collective intelligence of the cosmos itself. And those messages don't always arrive in sentences. Sometimes they come as images in your dreams, as sudden knowing, as goosebumps, as music that moves you in unexplainable ways. So pay attention to your dreams, not just as entertainment or fleeting thoughts, but as sacred communications. Your dream world is a portal now, one of the clearest ones available. The symbols that show up aren't random. The people who appear, whether familiar or totally unknown, are archetypes, messengers, mirrors. They're showing you something about yourself, about your path, about the direction your soul is longing to move in. Some of you might even find yourselves lucid dreaming more often. Those moments when you realize, within the dream, that you're dreaming. That realization is not just a quirk of your sleep cycle. It's a sign that your consciousness is expanding, that you are remembering that reality itself is malleable, that you're not just a passive observer of life, but a participant in the unfolding of your own multidimensional story. Even if you've been waking up at strange hours lately, especially around 3 or 4 a.m., that's part of this too. That's not insomnia. That's your soul responding to the rhythm of the cosmos. Your body, your spirit, your subconscious are aligning with celestial time. You're being tuned like an instrument, not for performance, but for reception. You're being prepared to receive, to remember, to awaken in layers you didn't know were dormant. The question is, what will you do with this? Will you brush it off as coincidence? Will you label it just a dream, just a thought, just a feeling? Or will you choose to see these experiences for what they really are, sacred communications from beyond the veil of ordinary life? There's a lot of talk about Mercury being chaotic during retrograde and Neptune being deceptive or illusory. But what many forget is that illusion is only dangerous when you believe it's truth. And sometimes what we call illusion is actually the real world, trying to shine through the cracks in our mental framework. Mercury and Neptune, when dancing in harmony, don't confuse each other. They elevate each other. Mercury brings language and clarity. Neptune brings depth and spiritual perspective. Together, they birth revelation. Together, they offer truth that's both articulate and transcendent. This isn't a time to fear illusion. This is a time to notice what illusions are dissolving. Are you finally seeing that the story you've told yourself about who you are might be too small? That the beliefs you inherited about what's real and what isn't were never yours to begin with? Are you realizing that you are not separate from life, but deeply entangled with it? That every moment, every encounter, every sign is a thread in a much larger web of meaning? That's what this alignment is here to show you. That you are more than a body, more than a name, more than your thoughts. You are part of a living, breathing consciousness field that speaks to you in every moment. If only you're willing to listen. The boundaries between waking life and the dreamscape are thinning. Not to confuse you, but to help you remember that they were never really there to begin with. You might be receiving sudden flashes of knowing, downloads that arrive without warning, but hit with undeniable truth. They might feel like they're coming from outside of you, and in a way, they are. They're coming from the greater field, but they're also coming through you, because your consciousness is the instrument through which truth becomes experience. These flashes aren't random, they are breadcrumbs. Each one is guiding you, nudging you toward alignment. Nothing you receive now is wasted. Every insight has purpose. Every sign is a signal. Every synchronicity is a thread in the tapestry of your awakening. And yes, the synchronicities are going to start multiplying. You'll notice repeating numbers: 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. Everywhere you look, you'll think of someone and they'll call you within minutes. You'll overhear a conversation that feels like it was meant just for you. You'll open a book and find the exact sentence your soul needed to hear. This is not magic in the fairy tale sense. This is real magic, the kind that lives in resonance, in alignment, in the subtle interplay between inner and outer reality. When Mercury and Neptune meet at the 0 point of Aries, the illusion of separation begins to dissolve. The story that your thoughts are just yours, that your path is random, that life is chaotic, that story begins to crumble. And in its place, a new understanding arises, that life is responding to you, that the outer world is a mirror, that consciousness is not something you possess, but something you participate in, something you belong to, something that breathes with you. Reality in this moment becomes more alive, more fluid, more responsive. It's like life is leaning in, listening to your thoughts, your questions, your longings, and echoing them back in the form of signs, symbols, synchronicities. As April 18th approaches, these echoes will get louder. The feedback loop between your inner world and the universe will tighten. What you focus on will grow. What you feel deeply will manifest more quickly. What you believe will shapeshift before your very eyes. So now is the time to be intentional, to stay soft and open, but also discerning, to trust your intuition, but not abandon your inner clarity. Let logic and spirit dance together. Let thought and feeling become allies. Let yourself be guided by both the map and the mystery. This is not about bypassing reality. It's about expanding your definition of it. It's about realizing that truth doesn't only live in what you can prove. It lives in what you can feel, what you can know in your bones, what you can dream with your eyes wide open. You are not imagining things. You are perceiving more. You are being initiated into a new way of seeing, of being, of relating to the universe. And that's no small thing. So listen to the whispers. Pay attention to the signs. Honor the dreams. And above all, trust the unfolding. Because it's happening. It's real. And you are ready. Let this be your beginning. Let April 18th mark the moment you remembered. The moment you stopped doubting the magic. The moment you said yes to the unseen. Yes to your soul. Yes to the invitation that has been softly knocking on your heart for lifetimes. The portal is open, and you are being called. Not to escape this world, but to finally meet it, fully awake, fully present, and fully alive. This moment in time is not a coincidence. It may feel like you're standing at the edge of something immense, something you can sense, but perhaps can't quite explain yet. And that's because you are. What's unfolding right now in the cosmos is not just another astrological event. It's a rare and deeply significant alignment, one that resonates through the spiritual and physical dimensions alike. The conjunction happening at the Aries point is more than a celestial meeting. It's a vibrational gateway. This specific degree, 0 degrees Aries, is not just the beginning of the zodiac. It's the threshold between realms. It is where the unseen begins to take shape in the visible world, where the spiritual inner life starts to materialize in the physical outer world. You might be feeling this already, not just as a passing mood or subtle curiosity, but as a profound stirring, deep in your bones. There's a reason everything feels heightened, amplified, perhaps even surreal. You're not imagining it. Time may seem to stretch out or collapse altogether. Hours blur or rush by without explanation. Some moments may feel like déjà vu, Others like you're walking through a dream that's more vivid than reality. This isn't just psychological, it's energetic. Your awareness is expanding, blooming outward like a flower opening to sunlight after being curled up through the long winter. You're beginning to notice patterns that once hid in plain sight, rhythms that you didn't realize were pulsing all around you. These aren't random experiences. The universe doesn't deal in coincidences. It speaks in patterns and synchronistic whispers, in moments that tug gently at the edges of your consciousness. Maybe you've been hearing the same line in a song again and again, and suddenly it hits you differently. Maybe there's a symbol that's been following you, quietly appearing in books, in signs, in dreams. Or maybe a memory has resurfaced, one you hadn't thought about in years, but now it suddenly feels important. These aren't accidents. They're nudges from the deeper layers of your own soul, reminders from the universe to pay attention. Because right now, more than ever, something is trying to get through to you. You're being asked to tune in with all of your being, to listen not with your ears, but with your inner knowing. The messages around you are not loud or obvious, and yet they are deeply profound. They are the soft, sacred language of alignment, of spiritual guidance coming through when you're ready to hear it. The cosmic veil is thinning, and through it, glimpses of a deeper truth are emerging. And even if you're not sure what to do with these signs just yet, even if you're just beginning to piece together their meanings, trust that they are guiding you somewhere important. Within you, change is already underway. Whether you've felt it building for a while or it's caught you by surprise, there's no denying that something powerful is shifting in your energetic field. It might be subtle, an inexplicable sense that you're different somehow, like something has been realigned inside you, but that subtlety runs deep. In fact, the most profound transformations often begin quietly. You might not fully recognize the change until weeks or even months have passed, until one day you look back and realize you're no longer the same version of yourself you were before. This is the influence of Mercury and Neptune meeting at the Aries point. Two celestial forces weaving together the realms of thought and spirit, logic and mysticism, grounding and transcendence. Mercury, the communicator and messenger, merges with Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and spiritual depth. And where do they meet? At the exact place where the zodiac begins, where new cycles initiate, where life itself is reborn into form. When they come together here, the effect is not just symbolic, it is deeply energetic. It activates the crown chakra, the energetic gateway at the top of your head that links you to the divine, to the cosmos, to the infinite. You may feel this physically. It could come as tingles across your scalp, waves of warmth, or even temporary pressure that defies explanation. Some may experience it as light headaches that ebb and flow, or as sudden bursts of clarity that vanish as quickly as they arrive. But beyond the physical, something much more sacred is happening. Your energy body is adjusting to higher frequencies. You are learning to hold more light, more awareness, more multidimensional information than you were able to process before. For those of you who've been walking a spiritual path for some time, this will feel like an intensification. Your intuitive gifts may sharpen. You might feel more attuned to the emotions and energy of others, even to the energy of spaces and objects. The voice of your higher self, the one that speaks in gentle truths and unwavering knowing, may begin to feel more distinct, more trustworthy, more present. It's as if the noise of the everyday mind is finally starting to quiet, allowing the true guidance of your soul to come through. And if you're newer to this journey, or if you've been disconnected from your spiritual self for a while, this activation might feel disorienting at first. You might notice that you suddenly feel everything more deeply. A conversation, a room, even a passing glance can stir something in you. You may find yourself crying for reasons you can't explain, or laughing unexpectedly at the sheer wonder of it all. It might be confusing or even unsettling, but it's not something to fear. You're not losing your grip on reality. You're stepping into a wider reality, one that's always been there, but was once hidden behind the veil of conditioned perception. That veil is lifting now. Not because you're forcing it, or even consciously asking for it, but because it's simply time. This cosmic alignment doesn't require your readiness. It doesn't need you to have it all figured out. It's happening because your soul has already said yes on a level deeper than thought. You are awakening. You are remembering. You are coming home to yourself in ways that will continue to unfold long after this alignment has passed. Take a moment to reflect on how things have felt lately. Has there been a shift in your dreams, perhaps more vivid, symbolic, or prophetic? Have your emotions felt like they're moving through you faster, more freely? Have you been sensing things beyond your five senses? Energies, presences, inner knowing that feels both unfamiliar and deeply comforting at the same time? These are all signs that your spiritual channels have already begun to open in anticipation of this exact moment. Your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, they've been gently preparing you, clearing space within your energetic system so you can receive what's now flowing in. Some people will glide into this new frequency effortlessly, as if they've been waiting for this doorway to open. Others might feel resistance, fear, or confusion, and that's okay too. Not everyone processes energy in the same way or on the same timeline. But know this: no one is being left behind. This shift is collective. It's part of the larger wave of awakening moving through the earth right now. You are not alone in this. You're part of something vast, ancient, and deeply intelligent. And the most beautiful part, this alignment is only the beginning. As we move past April 18th, and the conjunction reaches its exact peak, you'll likely begin to notice something else, a clarity you didn't realize you were missing. Neptune, often associated with fog, illusion, and dreamy distortion, will leave behind a trail of crystalline insight once it moves past Mercury. It's as if a curtain is being drawn back, and suddenly things that once felt murky begin to make perfect sense. You may find yourself having conversations that bring long-sought closure. You might see a situation from your past in a new light, and finally understand why it happened the way it did. Or you may simply feel lighter, as if a weight you didn't know you were carrying has been lifted. The clarity that follows this transit won't just be mental, it will be spiritual. It will come from that place inside you that knows what is true even when words can't explain it. That place that trusts the unfolding of life, that sees meaning even in chaos, that understands healing doesn't always come through logic but through grace. This is a moment to surrender, to soften, to listen. The answers you seek are already within you, waiting patiently beneath the noise of daily life. Let yourself be still enough to hear them. Let yourself be brave enough to follow where they lead. The universe is not asking you to be perfect right now. It's not demanding that you have everything figured out. All it's asking is that you stay open to mystery, open to change, open to the possibility that something greater is unfolding through you. Because it is, and you don't have to chase it. You only have to allow it. As the days unfold after this alignment, you may begin to notice more beauty in the ordinary. You may feel more connected to nature, more present in your body, more at peace with the unknown. You may feel more inspired, more creative, more in tune with the quiet wisdom that lives inside of you. And through all of this, remember, the changes you're experiencing are not temporary. They are part of a larger awakening, one that's calling you not only to remember who you are, but to live it. So breathe deeply, walk gently, speak kindly to yourself. Trust that you are being held by forces far wiser and more loving than you can imagine, and know without a shadow of a doubt that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The cosmos is not distant from you. It lives within you. This alignment, this energy, this awakening, it's not happening to you. It's happening through you, and the version of you that's emerging on the other side, that version is radiant. That version is ready. That version is already here. This isn't your usual kind of mental clarity. It's not the typical sharpness that comes from a good night's sleep or a few cups of coffee. It's not about processing information faster or coming up with quicker solutions to problems. No, what's unfolding now is something far more rare, more nuanced, and significantly more powerful. This is a different kind of lucidity, one that merges the precise, detail-focused nature of Mercury with the expansive, intuitive, and dreamlike presence of Neptune. And when these two cosmic forces converge, especially at the potent Aries point, that cosmic gateway between personal will and collective awakening, the result is nothing short of alchemical. This is clarity of a soul-level kind. It's the kind that doesn't just help you see the facts more clearly. It helps you understand why those facts matter. It doesn't just show you what's happening, but opens your eyes to the layers of meaning hiding beneath the surface. It brings not only vision, but insight. Not only comprehension, but deep understanding. It gently parts the veils that separate the mundane from the mystical, allowing you to perceive how everything is interconnected. Things that once seemed fragmented or random begin to coalesce into a unified tapestry, revealing a greater purpose behind events and experiences that may have once felt senseless or disconnected. It's like being handed a map you didn't even know you were missing, one that doesn't just guide you through the terrain of your outer life, but also reveals the vast inner landscape of your soul. And in this space, the mental fog doesn't just lift, it transforms into luminous awareness. It becomes light that guides. Your intuition begins to speak more loudly, more clearly, blending with your intellect until the two become inseparable allies. Logic now dances with mystery, and the heart and mind move in harmony. As this energy flows in, dreams may take on a new quality, more vivid, more symbolic, more resonant. You may begin to wake up with lingering images, messages, or feelings that stick with you throughout the day, tugging at your attention, asking to be explored. You might notice patterns in your thoughts, signs in the world around you, or moments of eerie synchronicity that feel too meaningful to ignore. You might find yourself remembering parts of yourself you'd long forgotten, old dreams, desires, or soul callings that once seemed out of reach or too fantastical to pursue. And more than that, you'll start to feel a sense of purpose stirring within you again, a subtle but undeniable reminder of why you're here, what you came to do, and who you truly are beneath all the noise. So if the world feels a little strange right now, if your thoughts seem to echo in the atmosphere around you, if your body is buzzing with unexplainable energy, if you're experiencing waves of clarity that feel like they're coming from somewhere beyond your usual mind, know that you're not alone. You're not imagining it. Something real is happening, and it's happening through you. The very fabric of reality is responding to your awakening, adjusting itself to the frequency you are now beginning to embody. And this energy doesn't require you to have all the answers. It doesn't ask you to be perfect or to understand everything in one go. It simply asks that you remain open enough to feel it, curious enough to explore it, and courageous enough to follow where it leads. Because this clarity isn't just here to give you answers. It's here to change you. It's here to initiate you into a new way of perceiving, a new way of thinking, and ultimately, a new way of living. Imagine what it feels like when your mind finally stops racing and instead starts to flow. When instead of struggling to express your ideas, words come easily and naturally. When conversations, even difficult ones, begin to unfold with grace, because you're no longer speaking only from your intellect. You're speaking from your whole being. You're speaking from a place of alignment. And perhaps the most transformative aspect of all is this. The clarity you're receiving is not about controlling life, but about cooperating with it. It's not about fixing everything, but about seeing things so clearly that the next step becomes obvious. Choices that once felt overwhelming suddenly feel simple, not because the circumstances have changed, but because you have. You're no longer viewing life through a lens of confusion or fear. You're seeing from a broader perspective now. Your awareness stretches beyond the horizon, revealing options, opportunities, and paths you hadn't noticed before. This is the gift of the Mercury-Neptune Conjunction at the Aries point. It's not just a passing energetic event, it's a recalibration, an upgrade to your internal operating system, a whole new framework for thinking, sensing, and creating. Some may experience this shift as a powerful, lightning bolt moment of insight or inspiration, a sudden download of truth that lights up every cell of your being. Others may find it unfolding more gradually, like dawn, breaking over the landscape of the mind, casting light into every shadowy corner. Either way, the result is the same. A mind that is more integrated, more whole, more attuned. A mind that can bridge the practical and the spiritual, the logical and the intuitive, the scientific and the mystical. This isn't about getting lost in the dreamy fog of Neptune. It's about learning to navigate those depths with presence and clarity, while still keeping your feet on solid ground. It's about becoming a traveler between worlds, able to bring wisdom from the invisible realms into your everyday reality. And here's where things deepen even more. While the exact conjunction peaks around April 18th, its effects won't fade as quickly as a fleeting moment in the stars. Instead, it ushers in a sacred window of time, approximately 40 days of integration, transformation, and realignment. That number is no accident. Across countless spiritual and cultural traditions, 40 days is seen as a sacred cycle. It's the time it takes for deep change to take root, for old ways to dissolve, and new ways to form. Think of the biblical stories, the 40 days of fasting in the wilderness, the 40 days of rain in the Great Flood, the 40 days between resurrection and ascension. Each marks a profound journey of cleansing, awakening, and becoming. And so it is now. Over these next 40 days, you may find yourself returning to past experiences with a new awareness. Old relationships may resurface, not to pull you back, but to show you how far you've come. Ideas or creative projects you once abandoned may begin to call to you again. Not because you're regressing, but because you're ready to meet them from a higher state of consciousness. This is not a backward movement. It's a spiral. You are ascending through familiar territory, but with a new light in your eyes and a new strength in your heart. And what happens during these days is not fleeting. These aren't just interesting moments or temporary insights. These are upgrades, permanent enhancements to your perception, your expression, your ability to create and connect. You may find that your communication style evolves. You speak with more clarity, more heart, more depth. You may find that your creativity flows more freely than ever before, as though a channel has opened inside you. You might begin to notice time itself behaving differently, moving in strange loops, syncing with your intentions, offering you glimpses of the past and future in dreamlike flashes of knowing. You may begin to trust your timing in a whole new way. You'll sense when to pause, when to act, when to speak, and when to simply hold space. Your dreams may become prophetic. Your inner compass may feel sharper. You may hear the voice of your higher self more clearly than ever before. And if you've been walking a spiritual path, this time may bring the activation you've been waiting for, the breakthrough that helps everything click into place. Meditations that once felt dry or repetitive may now take you into profound states of awareness. Spiritual teachings you couldn't fully grasp may now unfold like a flower, revealing layers of truth you hadn't seen before. And the guidance that once felt distant or faint may become loud, clear, and unmistakable. So wherever you are in your journey, know this: you are not being asked to become someone else. You're being invited to become more fully yourself. You're being invited to remember the deeper truth of who you are, and to begin living from that truth with boldness and grace. These 40 days are not just about processing new information. They are about embodying a new frequency. You may feel pulled to journal, to create, to speak your truth more boldly, to rest more deeply, to follow inspiration even when it makes no logical sense. Follow it. This is a time to trust yourself in new ways, to listen to your own energy, and to move in harmony with what life is showing you. And above all, remember, you are not alone in this. All across the world, others are awakening alongside you. Others are feeling the same stirrings, the same shifts, the same call to rise. And together we are weaving a new reality, one that is rooted in clarity, compassion, creativity, and connection. So if this message has resonated with you, thank you for staying with it. Your attention, your energy, your presence, it matters. You matter. If you'd like to continue this journey, please consider subscribing or following along. And if you feel called, I'd love to hear how this energy is unfolding for you. Share your thoughts, your experiences, your dreams. Let's grow through this together. Until next time, take tender care of your soul. Trust the insight, follow the flow, and know that what's awakening within you is not only real, it's divine. You're not just receiving clarity, you're becoming it.